typically head down to Fort Myers?
Typically for me, I go kind of middle of February, kind of the first or second week of February.
Cool. You watch football at all?
Oh, yeah. College and NFL. The older I've gotten, the more I've enjoyed NFL, and it's probably just because the guys I grew up watching in college are in the NFL now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoy it.
This is a terrible game that's on right now.
Who's playing right now?
It's Dolphins Steelers.
Oh, yeah.
0-0.
What quarter?
It's 8 minutes left in the second.
Sheesh. I feel like all the primetime games have been really bad, but like maybe 2 or 3 of them. Like majority of them been really bad.
I would agree. I'm very excited for this Thursday. This Thursday is Seahawks-Rams.
Oh, yeah. See, like that one should be – but the thing is, it's scary because there's been some good matchups, and then they just have been horrible games.
That is true.
But these are 2 good teams, so I don't see that being a problem.
Who do you ride with for NFL?
I don't really have a team. It's more just like I like watching certain players, like, you know, but when it comes to college, I grew up an Auburn fan. My family's from Auburn, so I've kind of rooted for them. But NFL, I've never really had a favorite because like we're in Mississippi, so we have New Orleans, which they haven't been good since Drew Brees, and then you have the Atlanta Falcons, which like it's kind of whatever at that point. So like we don't really in this area kind of you're a Saints fan or a Falcons fan, and then of course you have those random fans of any other team. But I don't really have a specific team yet. Like I mean, the older I've gotten, I'm sure I'll find a team that I'll stick to. But as of right now, I'm still trying to figure out who I want to cheer for and feel good about cheering for.
So, do you watch basketball too, or just
football? Yeah? And that's another thing. I've gotten really into NBA the last probably 2 years. I've really enjoyed it.
Nice.
I know from like the whole NBA fan base has gone down just in the past couple of years, like watching and all. And it kind of sucks. Like most of the games aren't on TV. Like you have to have like the NBA pass or whatever it is.
Yeah, so. The league pass is expensive.
Yeah, so it's just like I don't watch it enough to like spend the money on that. To be honest,
I'm gonna figure out what the best.
Hey Parker, you see what time that is?
Well, that's 8:59, baby.
That's what I told you I was popping on.
You did. Hang on a minute. I'm sorry. I'm moving everyone around just trying to figure out the best thing. No Jake, Keith, just so you know.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I'm usually the last person here, and that's including the guests. So
I did Phil Peavy by myself. That one was actually fun. I actually really enjoyed that one.
Wait, you did that by your lonesome? Good for you. Good for you.
All right. So Dalton, something for you really quick. We do a little intro before. There's some music, and I do like pretty much like an ad read, pretty much, and then we'll get right into it.
Sounds good.
Cool. Everyone all set?
Bang.
Cool. Let me bring this up. There we go. I gotta memorize this, Keith. This is my goal for 2026.
Is memorizing the ad read?
Yes.
We need to find some like fun shit to do with it, dude.
It's
like
very
some ad-libs.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good idea. Cool. Everyone good?
Yep.
All right, cool.
Banging, let's do it.
4:30. Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the Cottonwood Sports Podcast. This episode is presented to you by Boston Sports Entertainment Network and brought to you by Pins and Aces. Whether you're looking for golf bags, head covers, and apparel, they have all your high-quality golfing needs to look fresh on the greens. Head on over to www.pinsandaces.com and use code word WOOD at checkout to receive 21% off. We got a special guest for you guys today. We got Red Sox prospect Dalton Rodgers. Dalton, thank you very much for being here with us today.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. I'll start off by saying, how's the off season going for you?
It's good. Just obviously a lot of training when it comes to lifting and throwing, building, getting back, progressing, and building up the workload, and of course lifting, just trying to get stronger, and hopefully that'll play on the field and keep me healthy.
Oh, for sure. Is there anything specific that you've been trying to work on this off season?
When it comes to lifting, for me is just getting stronger. I particularly think for me, like, to increase velocity and do well on the mound is being strong in my lower half, and then also just keeping the upper body strong too, but really just keeping it flexible. And with pitching is just, with me, it's just maintaining the pitches that I have, that I've kind of gotten in the last couple of years, being with the Red Sox. And so I have access with TrackMan, so with data that I have with the facility I train at back here in Jackson, Mississippi. And so just maintaining those, pitches, and if I can make them better as much as I can.
Yeah, that's sweet. So I'll just dive into your college career. You played for 3 different colleges, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yep.
Was there a specific reason for playing for 3 different colleges?
Yeah. So freshman year, went to Southeastern Louisiana University. I went as a 2-way, which that means you're going as a pitcher mainly, but we're going to let you try and play a position you want to play. But that was COVID year, 2020. So obviously that was shortened. And then that was kind of going into that season, though, after the fall, I, made the decision I'm going to be a pitcher only. And so going into the year, obviously I think I had 8 appearances in the short term of the season. And then as soon as the COVID hit, kind of thought about it, prayed about it, and decided to hit the portal and go JUCO route to kind of really focus on pitching, because I've always, done both, and especially in high school. So I thought, let's take this step back and kind of, really focus on pitching and maybe be a little bit easier competition, which it kind of wasn't, because like COVID made, JUCO honestly really competitive at that time. It was like a weird year. So it was really fun, really competitive. But I really grew as a pitcher, learning to pitch. The pitching coach that I had when I was at Jones College was his first year he came in. He was played with the Braves a long time ago, left-handed pitcher as well. So it was nice to really learn the mental side, and also just being able to pitch when it came to, with him, he was big about being efficient, get in there, have the quickest innings you can possibly have, and filling up the strike zone. And so I never really thought about that, especially being, young in high school. You just kind of go in there and just pitch. And I've always had the problem when I was younger I'd have a little bit too lengthy of innings. And so that kind of really transitioned to seeing like I can go, deep into games and not have to kill my pitch count. So it was a really good learning curve. And of course, then transferring over to Southern Miss, and going from a starter pretty much my whole life and going into the bullpen with Southern Miss, it was also a new learning curve for me. It was, because it's completely different when you go from a starter to a reliever. And so I learned some like key things there too, of like first pitch, you got to be ready to go. You don't have, maybe a buffer inning with the first inning of like kind of figuring things out. Like you got to be guns and blazing, in the 7th, 8th inning. So it was, a learning curve there, but I mean, we were a really talented group of guys, and get the innings with that team is kind of hard to do at that time. And I was lucky to be a big part of the staff and really enjoyed it. Made it to, super regional. Unfortunately lost to the team that won it all, Ole Miss, but really enjoyed it. And of course had the opportunity to get picked up with the Red Sox the next year.
Boom. So I know you were saying like you had made that choice to go from being a 2-way player to being a pitcher. What was there a specific moment where you were like, yeah, pitching is more for me? Or was it like an enjoyment thing? Like what was the thing that clicked for you that made you say like pitching is the route I want to go down between these two?
I think it's more of the reality of it. I mean, I
Mhm.
wouldn't say I'm ever the biggest guy on the field. And when I was at that time, I was definitely not the biggest. So it was when I'm not hit. I've never been a home run hitting guy. I was, the hitting for average kind of guy. And of course, that's not going to play in any kind of, higher levels, especially in this day and age of baseball. So I knew I had a good arm. I knew I was left-handed. That was always an advantage. And so taking the pitching route, I knew because I wanted to play professional baseball, and I knew like putting my focus on strictly pitching, I was going to have a better chance of doing that. And so that was kind of having to grow up and mature in a mental standpoint of like saying like hitting is not really what's going to get me there. So it's kind of growing up and decide let's just focus on pitching.
Was there
Yeah.
a specific? Go ahead, Keith.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, trying to like, if you're a two-way player, pretty much your entire life, to like have to come to that crossroads where you have to say like, okay, I got to give one of these up. I feel like that's a mature thing to do at a young age.
Yeah, because as a kid, you want to be on the field every day because it sucks, being a pitcher. Unfortunately, you can't be out there every day, and so it's just like at that point, it's like doing something that that's going to have a better chance of get into what I want to do, which is obviously playing professional baseball like I'm doing now, but obviously further in and getting to the big leagues itself.
I think pitching's more fun anyway.
Yeah, 100%. I can't complain with that.
Do you think that there was a specific? Obviously, you went to 3 colleges. Was there a specific college that kind of helped you excel in your pitching?
I would have to say being at Jones. Honestly, I've always been blessed with talent of being good when it came to just throwing hard and being able to get guys out with my fastball. That's honestly why I'm in the position I'm in. Is just I've always had a pretty good fastball, I would say. But going to Jones and learning to pitch and having multiple pitches, it allowed me to obviously go through a lineup more than once and being successful doing it. And like I said, like during that time when I was at Jones, it felt like every lineup had 5 or 6 guys committed to Division I at that time, because that was right before NIL was a thing too. So like JUCOs really used at that point, and now it's kind of harder, to get picked up as a JUCO player. But it was, I know one team was stacked with like 9 Division I guys, 5 or 6 SEC guys. So it's like I'm playing Division I baseball. It just the label says JUCO on the helmets. You know what I'm saying? So it's I grew really fast when it came to pitching. Had a pretty successful year, and honestly, like that's kind of where my agent found me and allowed me to kind of boost my chances of ending up getting drafted. I guess a year and a half later, but like he got me up to the Cape, so I had the opportunity out of JUCO to go up to the Cape, and get an opportunity up there to get my name out there for my my next year's eligibility of draft in Division I level.
How was your experience at the Cape Cod League?
It was good. I went up there the year after Jones, and then also I had I think 2 or 3 outings after Southern Miss to just try to get my name out there and have a chance to get my name called earlier as possible. And it was really good. Met a lot of good guys up there and still stay in contact with some of them. And of course, I would say I was probably maybe 1 or 2 like southeastern division or southeastern area that was on that team. A lot of California guys, a lot of northeastern guys, obviously just because of the location. But so getting to play guys that I played with, guys that I would had, and then now playing them in pro ball, facing them, watching them, it's been good to have like small reunions every once a week every time we're playing another opponent.
Yeah, so if we're talking about like how was your time with something, how was your time as being a part of the bomb squad?
Yeah, it's a blessing, I guess, just because of the guys that are in the squad. But I guess the honor of being in it is, it's good and
mixed
bad.
bag.
Yeah, but it's it keeps the game fun with us between then of course competing. It's always a blessing with being with those guys. I'd say that's one thing I've really enjoyed with the Red Sox, other than the development side of it, but just being around the kind of guys that they draft year in and year out is, I mean, a bunch of good buddies of mine, and it just seems like we're always just cutting up and having a good time. It never feels like I'm like got to go in today, to the field and not want to be around these guys. So, I mean, it's very fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. We've heard that from a lot of guys, that the locker room is just so pure and everyone gets along and there's no one that like doesn't get along. It's great.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I think that's it's trending, to the bigs. Like, it just seems like when I got drafted with Roman Anthony and, was close with him when we first got drafted. Of course, he's bigger and better now. It's hard to, keep up in contact with him. But, I mean, he's that's kind of what he always seems to sound like. He talks about the guys as like they're, a bunch of good buddies. So, like, obviously, when you're, going out there to play with a bunch of guys that you like being around, it's easier to win games, and it's kind of where we're seeing, the big league level kind of trending in the right direction, I feel like.
Yeah, it changes the dynamic when everybody's actually like enjoying the company rather than feeling like you have pressure of people around you who aren't like super close with you. It kind of feels like kind of that like, winter or summer league ball that you played in high school where it's just you and a bunch of your buddies playing. And I think that's a really good atmosphere, especially when you're playing, big league ball and getting to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it fun, 100%. And you're going out there knowing that, it's not a lot of pressure when it comes to, having to be perfect. Because obviously in this game, you can't be perfect. And just knowing that, like, those guys are your buddies and they're going to be there for you regardless of, the results.
Yep. So kind of following up on because we've had a couple of people from the Bomb Squad on here. I don't think it has ever actually been brought up or talked about. Who's the winner - the loser of that? Like, how do you want to come in first or are you trying to come in last? Like, how's the scoring for that?
I mean, you technically want to be last,
Yeah, right?
That means you've not allowed the most home runs. But
yeah,
I think we honestly had a couple. I think we had maybe 2 or 3 guys tied for first, which is obviously the most home runs allowed. So I don't think we actually have a winner, but because I know at one point we all had very similar amount of home runs like early in the season. So it was really funny. And of course, some call up. So like you stopped, keeping count at that point. But I mean, I honestly think we had a tiebreaker for a few of us.
That's
it
fun.
was funny because like you can look on MILB and like see home runs allowed, and we see our 4 or 5 pictures on there at the top. We're like, gosh, but it's a good group. It was fun.
Is there one that like sticks out to you where you were just like, damn, like that one should count for 2, or like
early allowed one that we still talk about to this day? I mean, Greenville's got a big. I'm sorry for shouting you out here early, but I mean he would own up to it as well. I would think it was Greenville's got this, the big state or big apartment buildings behind the Green Monster there, and they got a big Greenville sign, and it has a baseball, and the guy hit it over that or like to it, and it looked like it was still going up, like it didn't, and it was smashed.
That's a bomb.
Yeah, we joke about it all the time, or at least me and him do, but it's so I'm sorry for shouting you out there early, but I feel like that one definitely sticks out the most for me when it comes to that.
Well, it's a little give and take. You give up the longest bomb in Bomb Squad history, you punch out 12 Ks in your MLB debut. It's like a little bit of a give and take, right?
Yeah, 100%.
What's that been like for you to see some of these guys that you've played with in the minors and such just kind of make it up to the top level?
Yeah, I mean, not even just from pitching, like you have Christian Campbell, Roman Anthony, Marcelo, and then Till, being traded over. Chase Meadroth got drafted with him.
Oh, that one hurt to see him go.
I mean, it's been a bunch of guys that I've been playing with since I've gotten drafted, and seeing them debut, and even Tolley and early is like seeing those guys debut. It's like, okay, like it's real. Like you can I can myself. It's motivation to know like I can do it too. Like I know it's a hard thing to do, but like I was in the same locker room as those guys, and it's motivation to know that like it's possible. It's not impossible, So it's but it's also fun to watch those guys compete and because they are, deserving of those positions. So it's always fun watching those guys compete as well.
Yeah, I definitely think that's the right mindset to have. Is like, I can do this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm seeing these guys that were my teammates. I can do this. So
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
I mean, yeah, I think the last thing you can do is, be bitter about it and be like, that should be me. At the end of the day, like, the Red Sox is an organization and that is trying to win a World Series, and like, hopefully I can be in that position one day, be with those guys. So like, all I can do is be supportive with that, and like I said, like, use that as motivation to get there.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you go, Parker.
Go ahead.
You.
I was about to change subjects. Go ahead, bud.
Oh, I was just going to say, being a part of like the pitching pipeline that over the last couple of years, it feels like since, Breslow and Bailey came in, the pitching pipeline has changed so drastically. And I do feel like it does really work towards like, not even just necessarily overpowering guys, but like you get those mix of pitches, which I think is both fun to watch and also, does make it challenging for other teams that aren't just getting pumped with fastballs. It's like, here's some curveballs, here's some sliders, sweepers, and all that stuff going in there too.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing for me. Like, you can even read it on my like MLB, like bio is like, I was 85% fastballs when I was at Southern Miss out of the bullpen. And so like going from like Jones, when I learned to, pitch at JUCO and use those pitches, I kind of lost feel for them because I didn't have to use it. I would just come in, here's a heater. And so I kind of lost in-game feel of, those breaking ball pitches and stuff. And so getting in with the Red Sox and working with those guys and tuning and making those pitches even better than what they were before when I was in JUCO. But just honestly, it's fun. Like when I was in Portland, right when I got called, well, even Greenville 2 years ago, it's just like you had Early, you had Sandlin, you had Mullins. I mean, just that group, and even Monegro, it's like we had those guys there, and it's like we're competing, like even joking with like obviously the bomb squad and stuff. It's like we're competing, to be great out there, and it's just like it's competitive in a good way. It's not ever like we're always rooting for each other. Like it doesn't matter what the situation is. And then getting to Portland, it was like we still had the same kind of group, and then adding Weehunt into the mix as well, because obviously he's a draft later than us. But adding him into the group is just like it's so fun, like every day, because obviously you have six game series, like we're all getting to get to pitch in the series, and it's like it just felt like it was always one or two runs allowed as a starter or less, and it just felt like we were always competing and like giving our team a chance to win. It's like it's fun just to be able to sit there in the dugout and watch these guys compete. And of course, when I go out there and compete, it's just like you want to be better than what the guy before. And we always joke, like, player of the weeks, when it comes out, we're like, well, heck, 3 of us could get it this week. So it's just like, the Red Sox have done a really good job with developing and getting us, become, better pitchers from every aspect when it comes to mechanics and pitch shapes and stuff. So it's like, it's crazy how good we've like the group that we've kind of had in the last couple of years. Like it's just, and they're finally, getting to that point to the bigs, like Sandlin obviously getting the 40-man Uberstein. So it's like just slowly and surely we'll, all kind of hopefully be up there. I know you only got limited spots, but it's been really fun to watch everybody kind of develop and just competing every day.
Well, so I think that's one of the interesting things with like the way that baseball's gone, that even if you have like, you obviously have the 26 guys that are on the roster, but like throughout a season, you get so many people that are going up and down that it really does become more about getting 35 guys to all push in one direction. So even if you're not on that roster the whole time, you're still going to be participating. And I think that makes it a lot easier, especially with the way that the Red Sox carry themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the closer I've gotten to the bigs, like being in AA, like I never really realized how many, options back and forth with bullpen guys, availability and all that. Like and of course, injuries is also always a possibility when it comes to pitching. But it's like, it's crazy how much movement goes on. And like you said, it's not just this, the opening day lineup, like Early being in it, totally being in the, in the roster, late in the season and helping. I mean, obviously early coming in, starting in the wild card, winner take all, and then
That's
Tully coming
crazy.
in with the bases loaded situation. I think in the 7th, like, it's like me and Tully were in Greenville together to start that last year's season. So it's just kind of crazy how all that kind of comes together. But like at the end of the day, like it doesn't matter what, the first 40 are, to start the season. It's all about what kind of, what the lineup looks like at the end of the year. So yeah, I mean, it's all in one. And that's why like the Red Sox, it seems like they are big about having a family tradition when it comes to, being inside of the organization. And that's kind of what you've seen. And like you're hearing, like we're all a bunch of good guys that enjoy being around each other.
Hey, we're not just hearing it, we're seeing it. I mean, from the conversations we've had with everybody, it seems like everybody gets along, and it's like not just teammates, but like you had said before, like friends. Like Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer were roommates.
Yeah.
And like they're still boys and stuff like that. Like I can't remember the last time I saw a Sox team that had this much like camaraderie and talent at the same time.
Yeah, it's a really unique situation that the Red Sox is kind of getting themselves into, and I think it's really going to, continue this positive trend of winning games and having an opportunity to, win a World Series.
Yep.
So we are Maine-based, Dalton. So Sea Dogs, obviously. You played majority of the last season in Portland. How was that for you? And was there anyone specific in Portland that you kind of, as a coach, kind of helped you develop more?
From a coach standpoint, it was kind of weird. We had our head pitching guy there end up kind of taking a new role mid-season. So it was, kind of a interesting situation. But Juan Rivera was the assistant guy, ended up being the head guy. He was actually my assistant pitching coach when I first was in Salem. So I was already familiar working with him and have a really close relationship with him. But getting to work with him in Double-A when our head guy left, like that was, he basically had free reins at that point to kind of control the whole situation. And he's been really good. Like that was, I feel like he's such a smart guy that like he thinks of things that no one thinks of, it at least that I've ever been around. Like we've tinkered with things like just very small things with my pitch grips, and it's just instantly you see like a positive result from it. So it's just like I always like to pick with him and like try to figure out, more about what can, allow me to get better, and so I'd say Juan Rivera has been really good, like with not even just me, like everybody.
It's awesome to hear. We have him coming on in like the next month or so. So it makes me even more excited to have him.
Yeah, he's the best. I think very highly of him, and he's done a really good job with us, and it's always fun. He's a guy that's also, young and loves the game of baseball. That guy will, do anything to allow us to, find success, and that's all you can ask for, a guy to be in your corner like that.
Absolutely. So you spent a decent amount of time in Portland, like we were talking about. Did you ever get into the city at all and kind of explore?
Yeah, I did a little bit, especially when the fiance came up. She would fly up for a couple of days, and we'd go eat at a couple of spots. Don't ask me the names because I can't remember. Only one that I can remember is the burger place. Is it Butcher Burger? Is that what it's called?
Butcher Burger. Okay.
Yeah, I've had that a couple of times. The fries in their butcher sauce is amazing. That's the only one that I can really remember. We went to the Italian place by the port maybe over there.
Solo Italiano.
Yeah, we went there, and it was really good. Couldn't read anything on the menu. Had no idea what I was eating, but it was good food.
I'll take that one.
Yeah, that one sounds good. But yeah, we did that a little bit. Did some shopping, but I didn't really do a crazy amount, honestly. Like in a long season, like you kind of just want to chill out when you're not at the baseball field. But we did go to the beach during the All-Star break. I don't even know which beach it was, but it was not probably 30 minutes from, South Portland. But other than that, like we just kind of stuck in our little area in our apartment complex, or at least I did for the most part.
So what did relaxing kind of look like for you then?
Playing some video games, a little bit of that. or just kind of finding a Netflix show or some kind of show that I can binge for a while, and I'll just sit there and just watch it for hours if I can, especially like on the off day. But I'll get into I'd say I'm a what's the word I'm looking for? I'm very sporadic when it comes to gaming. Like I'll want to play for a month straight of almost feels like I want to play every day, and then like this off season, I think I've played maybe twice in 3 months. So it's just like I will randomly play and want to play a lot. During spring training, I'll probably end up wanting to play a lot just because I have a lot of free time after, the shorter days. But so it's either that or watching a TV show or, grab a bite to eat with a couple of the guys and just kind of chill and, just talk about pretty much ball, So it's I'm a pretty simple guy, I feel like, when it comes to that part, though.
You golf at all?
I do. I honestly didn't get into it until last off season. My fiance got it. Her family is part of a country club, and so I started playing over there and played probably a little too much. I was starting to feel it in the back a little bit, and I'm just like, all right, I might need to take it off a little bit. But of course, it's hard to say no when you got a bunch of guys like on the off day, like, hey, let's go swing. Let's go to the course, and I'm like, why not? And of course, it's kind of cool though, go to different areas and play. Like we played a couple of courses up in Maine, and it was fun. I really enjoyed it, but don't ask me what my handicap is. Not good at all. I'm just out there to enjoy being around the guys and being outside. So I'm not the greatest by no means.
I'm more of like a two balls off the tee kind of guy because the first one's going into another fairway. So
yeah,
I feel
yeah. Yeah, I need my breakfast ball every tee box.
every time.
So, man, we're on sync today, Keith. We're at like the same timing, bro.
I'll let you go.
All right, I appreciate you. Now that you're back home now, what's kind of like what you've been doing at home? Just kind of chilling, hobbies, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, been working with my dad a little bit. Been doing that I would do it full time from Monday to Friday, and then when it's kind of this, the baseball part of it starting to ramp up, throwing bullpens and stuff. I've been just like Tuesday to Thursdays, and then Monday, Wednesday, Fridays are my like full lift days and stuff. But honestly, I've gone to a lot of football games this year. I've gone to my fiance's family's big Ole Miss fans, so we go to Oxford, which is 3 hours away north. And then I have season tickets, or my grandparents have season tickets to Auburn football games. So we go to Auburn football games. Just went to the Iron Bowl not too long ago. And so I do a lot of college football stuff. That's my family does that. My fiance family does that. So we do that a lot, and done a lot of weddings this year. We're at that point, I guess, in my life that everybody's getting married. So I've been going to a lot of weddings, and I'm still going to a few in a couple of weeks. So I've been doing a lot of that.
Hopefully they're fun weddings at least.
Yeah, they're definitely fun. They're close buddies. So, it's not, it's people that I actually want to be, celebrating. It's not, some random people that you're distant friends with that you feel like you need to go to. I'm all close with a lot of them. And I'm in a wedding in February. So it will be my first one. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Best man or just a groomsman?
I'll be just a groomsman. It's one of my good childhood buddies that he's got a couple of brothers that unfortunately are ahead of me. But I feel like if they weren't in the picture, I might be that guy. At least I think I would be. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun time.
Before spring training or after? Or like during?
The wedding?
Yeah.
So it's perfect. It's a week before I report. It's February 7th. And I told him, because he knows I'm, play baseball and I was like, look, like if you want me at this wedding, it's gotta be before report to spring training, because it's gonna be when I'm there, I'm there. So he worked it out just a week before I'm going. So it'll work out.
What an honor. Your friend scheduled their own wedding around you.
I know. I mean, he's also a big hunter. He's from Kansas originally, so they have a lot of land up there. So he also has to work around his hunting schedule as well. So it's working out for both of us.
Fair enough. Game day. what is in the headphones?
Honestly, I've tried to figure out some certain things. This past year, it is like very up tempo. I don't have like a specific thing, but it's very like EDM sometimes. And then I got the weekend. Like honestly, this year was probably the weekend a lot, which is surprising because that's not who I typically kind of listen to. But I started listening to the weekend this year, and I was kind of rolling at the end of the season. I was like, I might have to stick with it for a while, and so I had a couple of the weekend songs. Eminem's kind of in there too. He like came out with, I didn't even realize until it just like randomly popped up on a Spotify song when I was, warming up, and it was like a weekend with Eminem featured in it. And I was like, okay. So like I have a little bit of those guys. And then, like I said, like some house music, very up tempo. They just kind of getting, the things going and stuff.
Well, so now I got, what would your like entrance music be? Like if you had to pick a song to like enter the game to, like what are we rocking there?
So I the last 2 years I rocked KB, which is a Christian rapper, and in Greenville the studio is really good, or the stereos are really good. So it was like a piano start, and I really like that, which I don't know if Nelly Taylor's been on yet, but he actually, when he came up, he got caught up. He used it without knowing it was my walk-up song. And I look over when he's coming up to bat. I'm like, wait a minute, this is my walk-up song. And so when he came in after hitting, I was like, what are we doing still in walk-up songs? But
that's funny though.
We're close, and it's all good. And no harm there. I was like, look, you play every day. I play once a week. It is perfectly fine. If you like the song, it's going to allow you to go up there and hit well and give me, runs when I'm pitching. I'm all for it. But I used another song of his this year. I honestly, don't even ask me the name. But so the last 2 years has been KB. But I also used I think when I got to Portland, I changed it to This Is My World, I think, by Hendrix and someone else, I'm pretty sure. And it's like a very uplifting or like high tempo song that I used. Which unfortunately in Portland, it's kind of hard to hear the music a little bit, and sometimes you got the promotions between the innings. I think I might have heard it one time, unfortunately, this year, but it's all good.
Hey, the speakers of Fenway are pretty good.
Yeah. I've had my fair chances to go over there, and when I first got drafted, and I was like hearing the walk-up songs, I'm like, this is, when I get here, I don't have to worry about that. So Yeah, got to get there.
Keith, we're gonna have to go down to the Sea Dogs office and talk to them about their audio stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure they got the money. Like they can upgrade that stuff, man.
They just upgraded the field. They did the clubhouse. I mean, come on now.
I just honestly think it's, like Greenville, they have like the cover, so it just holds music, like the volume of it, like even the fans are louder, and it's not at all because we don't have fans in Portland. Obviously, we sold out a lot, the first year being up there, like they sell out a lot, and it's like, it just seems like because it's just like an open stadium there, it just, the sound just goes out. It doesn't like kind of get pushed down into the field as much as like it does in Greenville and, stadiums that have like the cover up. I did notice, like, I feel like that's kind of like the biggest thing is like it needs to have like a top to it. And I feel like it would be just fine.
Yeah, Hadlock is pretty open actually, because it goes like right over to the highway. Like that's right there.
Yeah.
A lot of open spots.
So maybe, they build a top to it. I don't know how much that would be in the budget, but that would probably be something it would definitely, I feel like that would help. We talked about that, a couple of the guys. It's like, it would be less, like, cause we're always like, there's so many fans here, but it just like, you only like, when you're, or at least in Greenville, like you can hear people's conversations that like just echoes onto the field. Like even in the dugout, it's just like, it's harder to hear as much when someone's hitting the ball and play, it's just like, you don't hear it, or like the mitt being, like after a pitch is being called, like it just isn't as loud there in Portland as it is in Greenville, just because I would think like the cover just doesn't like catch everything in.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't think I got to a game this year.
Of the Sea Dogs?
Yeah, I don't think so. I work a ton, dude.
That's fair enough. Shout out UPS.
Shout them out. I actually don't. They're stealing my life right now.
UPS.
Yeah, I'm a UPS driver, so unfortunately,
I
right
work
now
for
I'm sitting.
FedEx right now. That's my dad owns a company through that, or did. He just kind of helps run the company. But yeah, that's the job I've been running in the mornings because it don't take me very long to do.
Have you been doing deliveries or?
Yeah, I've been running routes.
So are you actually in one of the trucks or are you doing like personal vehicle? I mean,
Yeah.
okay. So you'll understand this. I think actually no, because you're in Mississippi, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So those things are so bad with climate control. Like whatever temperature it is,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like twice as bad in the truck.
Yeah, I mean it like right now it's 25 degrees and the AC doesn't work in my truck, so I don't have heating, which my dad says he did fix it supposedly. So we'll see tomorrow when I go in the morning. But it'll be 25 degrees tomorrow, and I really hope there's heat in there because if not, it's going to be a really cold day for me. But like
you're going to be getting engine heat at best.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, but I heard it's brutal because obviously I'm not here for the summer to work. But like, I mean, especially in Mississippi, it's super warm. And my brother, when he went and just did it, because my dad was like, "You need to get a job."
Yep.
Like it is brutal in the summer. It's like the AC doesn't do it's like anything for you.
Nothing. So I'm sure it's probably worse there because it's already a problem up here in Maine. But like during the summertime, I don't know if you've delivered any of like the Hello Fresh or like the Factor or anything
every
like
Monday.
that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. During the summertime, I swear to God, that shit is cooking in the back of my truck before I even get it to them because it is so hot in those things.
Yeah, it's probably 20 degrees hotter inside the back of the truck.
Oh yeah.
So
it's
like
a sauna.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I definitely because like I do the Factor stuff during the winter time. Sometimes like I'll get some meals here and there, just to add some foods that I don't normally eat. On my own, and I'm getting my food in the winter time, but like I couldn't imagine what it would be like in the summer. Like I feel like it's got to be hard to keep that food cool, which I know they do a good job doing the packaging. They have a lot of ice packs in there, but I don't know. It's hard to trust that. I feel like, especially if it's not been delivered until 5 o'clock, like, cause some people get done late. It's like, what if you're in the last house and you get it at 4 o'clock? It's been in there since 8 a.m., or 7 a.m. But it's so, I don't know. It's, I don't know if I would even be willing to order stuff during the summertime.
I usually don't. I've done Factor a couple times, and the only time that I will never do it in the summertime because like especially like UPS, like there's a lot of the guys because being up here in Maine, we kind of have two busy seasons because you got all the people coming up from Florida,
right?
That like have the houses up here, so it gets basically Christmas busy for like 2 weeks during the summertime.
Yeah,
so like there'll be people that aren't getting their stuff until like 11 at night. And that's not a joke.
Yeah. I could see that. And like I said, like the later, like it's been in the truck for that long. Like there's
it's brutal.
It's got to get a little bit, toasted, and like the food's got to been heated up at some point.
Yeah, a little bit, a little microwave. It's fine.
Look at you, Keith, talking delivery with someone.
I know. I thought I was.
When you said it, I feel like I had to, a fellow delivery man, I feel like I had to say something, instead of just like letting it just go underneath the rug.
So this was actually funny. We actually did an interview with Sean Isaac. What was this, like 2 weeks ago, Parker? Was that 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
a week ago.
I don't know. It's too busy to remember.
Something like that. We had Sean Isaac on, and I was out until like 10:30 that night, and so I had to do part of the interview from the back of my truck.
Oh god,
because it was so late.
Yeah.
It was too funny, man. It's too funny.
Yeah.
God, those vehicles sound like hell.
They are. They're kind of fun though because
I mean, it's like you also have to, if you take care of them, like you do get like my dad's always like on me. It's like you better take care because I run his route because he's been kind of like he's retired, like he sold his company. And he just kind of goes in there and helps the company that he like sold to. And so he's like, you better take care of the truck while you're working for this, the time frame that I'm here. Cause he's like, I'll be running that and I don't need that broken. So, but yeah, they're not bad. Like the wintertime, it's so much easier to work in just because like it is cooler.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about just sweating your tail off, but it's not a bad job. At least I get done. I probably start at 8 and get done by 1 every day, which is not bad at all.
I wish.
I'll keep that.
Yeah, I get it kind of easy. I mean, I'm spoiled when it comes to that part because I know some guys get done a lot later.
I've been pulling 70-hour weeks the last couple of weeks, man. It's been something. I actually like them because, like, especially during the summertime, you can keep the doors open, blast some like country music or something like that. And if you're on like camp roads and stuff like that, it's basically like you're going off-roading in a giant like 4-wheeler ATV type of thing. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
What a side tangent.
You're able to... Yeah, that was great.
That's too funny. Yeah. Never thought I'd have somebody that related to my prop.
No, seriously.
If we want to talk about relatable stuff, I think the first time, Dalton, that you got mentioned here, I think we were talking to, was it Mullins, Parker? When I told him that I gave up the bomb?
I don't remember. I might have been. It was either Mullins or Sandlin. It was one of those. It was
Mullins or Sandlin. So, one of my high school gives us the ability to be able to, like pitch at Hadlock Field and stuff like that. And so anytime that somebody comes on here that is pitched in Portland, I get to relate to you on the fact that I have also given up nukes at Hadlock Field. I had the furthest ball I've ever had hit off me at Hadlock. And it was, I don't throw hard. So this was like a 40-mile-an-hour, like change-up type of thing.
Yeah.
And it was launched. And it was so funny to watch that thing go over the wall.
Yeah, I mean, and of course you have the tall wall, so if they hit it over the left field wall, you're just like, I try to not watch, but like you also like have to admire it, especially if you like he got it. Well, let's see how far he really hit this one.
That's what I'm saying. When you're a pitcher, you got to have like that short memory where it's just like the second that I would always blame. So I have always wanted to know this from another pitcher because I would always just like. I would never take fault until after the game because I didn't want to like lose my confidence during the game. So like if a ball dropped or something like that, I would say, hey, it's a good piece of hitting, or, oh, my fielder should have done more. It's just something like that in my own head. What's your mindset like when you do have some of those like tougher outings? Like, how do you compose yourself to keep going?
I feel like that was the biggest thing for me this year in growing as a competitor. Instead of, pointing fingers, it was just like, oh, well, let's get the next guy. Like this guy didn't belong to be on. If it was like a bloop hit that, either was a broken bat hit or even just like a mishap defensively, it's like at the end of the day, like I have to look at it as a small win. It's like, okay, I broke his bat and he got a hit. Like it wasn't, earned, one. And two, if like a defensive play, it had, mishap, whatever, it's like, okay, if that ball is fielded, and cleanly and is thrown out, whatever is, if the play's done, I look at it as like, okay, I still won the battle. Like that guy didn't earn his position on the base. So I don't like for a while, I always used to just be like, what the hell? Like why? Like let's make the play, let's be better. But I've learned, and I feel like that really helped me this year get out of situations and not allow the inning to kind of snowball effect. So just being able to take those small wins, whether they're a win or a loss, in the situation. But I just feel like pointing fingers is just going to make it worse. So like I feel like that's honestly learned from just, accepting like whatever happened in that situation and just kind of roll with it.
Better mindset than I had.
Hey, it's taken me probably 15 years to figure it out. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, but I feel like time. It definitely helped me a lot this year.
I can still go.
You still can.
I still got a chance.
You do.
That's all I'm hearing.
I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but typically what we do is we ask this question at the end to every single person that comes on. And that question is, if you had one word to describe what you're bringing to the table for a team, what word would that be?
I would say that's just kind of screaming at me is goofy. I feel like I'm pretty goofy guy. I'm pretty lighthearted. I'm just
I like that.
I'm gonna try to cut up. I'm gonna try and have fun with the guys in the locker room as much as possible. Because at the end of the day, like this game's hard. Is like you can't be serious all the time. So I would say goofy. I feel like that's kind of how I am.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
That's the first too.
That's the first one that wasn't like
I'll
super
take it.
serious, like determined, and it's awesome.
We get competitor a lot, but Goofy's that's the first one.
Yeah, no, I'd say I'm goofy 100%. I won't ever shy away from that. That's just my personality, and I feel like that's just it's who I am.
Awesome.
Keep
Well,
that rolling
Dalton,
too, because I know a lot of Sox fans appreciate that type of stuff.
Yeah, I will try.
Dalton, we really appreciate you taking the time with us today. Rooting for you. Some of us will be at spring training this year, so we'd love to meet up with you and chat a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Well, thank you again for taking the time with us.
Yeah, thank you, Parker and Keith.
Boom.
Got it.
Y'all have a good